Hey guys, it's me Jocelyn. So today I'm going to be showing you some simple but cute transitions on alight motion. So let's just get started. So the first transition is a zoom out with a little heart and photo pop-up. Now I think my favorite part about this is that the heart changes colors, and I will show you how to do that. So let's just get started. So first things first, what you want to do is you want to have your first photo do a zoom in. So add 2 keyframes on your photo that you want to zoom in, one at the beginning and one at the end. And make sure on the one at the end your photo is zoomed all the way in, and on the first keyframe that your photo is zoomed all the way out. So it's like coming and flashing in at you. This is the graph that I used. I used a super fast graph just because I don't like the look of it being so slow. I like the effect of it like kind of like zooming in really fast to your face. So that's how you do the zoom in part. And then I also added a little opacity fade. So I went to the very beginning of my photo. I went to blending and opacity. I added a first keyframe at the very beginning and I made it 0. I moved a few frames forward and then I made that 100%. I didn't add a graph onto that, but you are welcome to if you want. I also added on oscillate for a little shake. This is optional, but if you want to make it, I made my magnitude 20 for the first keyframe and 0 for the last keyframe. I made them a little bit further apart just so you could see the shake occurring, and then I made my angle 45 degrees. Now that's how you do the zoom in. So for the heart, what you want to do is you want to go onto your keyboard, like your phone keyboard, go to text, and then just add on a little heart. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have an Android, it doesn't matter if you have an iPhone, it really doesn't, because you all have a heart emoji. So make sure you do that, and then you're basically going to do the exact same thing that you did with the first one. Just make it zoom in. So once again, add 2 keyframes, one at the beginning and one at the end. On the first keyframe, make sure the heart is zoomed all the way out, and on the second keyframe, make sure it's zoomed in to your liking. Now the way you can have it change colors is adding on hue shift. So go to effects, go to color and light, find hue shift, and then add that on. Now I just added a key from the beginning and I added one at the end, and then I just changed it to about 141 just so it changes colors. I didn't add an opacity fade on the emoji, but you can if you want. And this should be the final product. It's such a cute transition, and it would be perfect for soft edit. Now this next transition is like a spin with a little bit of a feathered pop-up. So you're going to need 3 photos or 3 clips for this one, and you're going to want to have them set up just like I do right here. So first things first, make a simple spin on your first 2 photos or clips. You want to add tiles and motion blur on, make sure they're mirrored, and then go to the spin panel, add 2 keyframes, one at the beginning and one at the end, and change to about -117. I know I'm very particular with my numbers, so I did -117, but you can really do any degree that you want. And then I just did a simple in graph. I made it a little bit more intense. It's not so subtle, so if you want to copy my graph, feel free. And since you're done with the spin, I also added on exposure and gamma. I moved a few frames forward before adding my first keyframe, and then I put it at the end and I made it about 0.25. I didn't want it to be too intense, but you can definitely do that if you like. And then on my second clip, I just finished off that spin by making it +117 this time, and then my second keyframe being 0. And then I just finished off the exposure as well. My exposure first keyframe wasn't 0.25, I made it 0.35, but in the end it doesn't really matter. So then after that, after you have your spin done, I added on my other photo on top. I had to make it into a group because I added on feather for this. So you're going to want to make sure that you have your first photo added and then add on feather to it. I made mine 0.150 and then I grouped it. The way you group it is you hold down on it on the side and then you just hit this little thing right here, this little box. And then it's in a group. And I didn't do anything with this one really, I just did an opacity fade. So I went to blending and opacity, added a keyframe at the beginning, made the opacity 0, and then I moved a few frames forward and made it 100 again. So this should be the final result for this transition. This one, I like it because it's a whole bunch in one. Like, it doesn't take too long for all the effects to pop up and it looks really good. So yeah. Now for this last transition, you're going to need one premium effect, and that is glow scan. But if you can't have it, that's completely fine. You can still do this transition. So what I did is this is a little bit of a flip with a glow scan. So you want to go onto your effects, go to 3D, and add on flip layer. Now once you have that added, just add 1 keyframe at the beginning and 1 at the end, and make your second keyframe somewhere around 90 to 100 degrees. And I did this graph right here. You want to hit these 3 dots when you're making the graph and make sure you hit enable overshoot so you have this like little swing effect once you're doing the flip. And then you want to go onto your second photo, add on flip layer again, and basically just make it around -100 or 90 degrees, anywhere around there. And then on your second keyframe, set it back to 0. And once again, make sure overshoot is enabled for this graph, and just follow the graph that I did right here. So as you can see, it's like swinging a little bit. It's real cute. And then on your second clip, find glow scan, add that on, and then go to threshold. On the first keyframe, make it 0.48, and then on the very last keyframe, make it all the way to 1. This is the graph I used for that. So yeah, this is this transition. I feel like you could definitely do more with it if you wanted. Maybe like add an overlay or something, but that's all I really wanted to do with it. So yeah, that was it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and comment down below any tutorial requests that you guys may have. And yeah, I hope you all have a great weekend. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye.